The Rose and the Thorn. The scorching and sultry weather had affected the streets of Isparta. People were acting badly towards each other because of the heat and the stress resulting from that. Friendships that were said to be invulnerable were damaged. The smallest shady places were not left blank. They became adults' resting areas and children's playgrounds. There were children who were playing marbles, hide and seek, and tag. All of them made the shadowy places their own playgrounds, only the games they played were different. The roses in the gardens of Sparta smelt like musk and caressed the souls of people with sweet breezes. The roses, which looked pretty to the eyes, were comforting people in a way that challenged the heat. People who were having picnics in the rose gardens and who were trying to reduce the effect of the heat didn't go unnoticed. Children playing tag in a narrow street were laughing and shouting. The boy who was tagged was trying to catch the other kids while running. The other children were shouting all together. Ahmet is tagged! Ahmet is tagged! You can't tag us! If you can't run fast, I will catch and tag you. The boy named Ahmet was running fast and trying to catch one of the other kids. Meanwhile, one of the children's feet tripped over a stone standing on the ground and the child wobbled and fell to the ground. Ahmet ran quickly and tagged him. The boy who was tagged shouted, "But that doesn't count. I fell to the ground and you caught me after that." Ahmet, on the other hand, was trying to get away from there as soon as possible, while he was talking to his friend, whom he tagged. "Osman, it's not my problem that you fell to the ground. I've tagged you, and now you are the tagged one." While staggering, Osman stood up and turned to his friends cheerfully and said, "Guys, do you think what Ahmet did was right?" Meanwhile, some children had come over to Osman to help him. Other children were also coming over. For that reason, Ahmet had to come embarrassedly. The boy with the blue shirt said, "We're friends, Ahmet, and what you did was very wrong. If you don't apologize to Osman, we will never talk to you again." As Ahmet was a very proud boy, he had no intention to apologize, so he did not hesitate to express that. "Why should I apologize? He fell, and I tagged him." Upon saying them, Ahmet started to make his way to his house quickly. At the same time, he was grumbling angrily, and he thought that he was innocent. With these thoughts in mind, he came to the green-painted house and knocked on the door. After around a minute, the door of the house was opened. It was his sister who opened the door. After going inside, Ahmet noticed that his dad and mom weren't at home. Only his grandpa and sister were there. While he was washing his hands, he didn't notice that his grandfather was following him. While looking at his grandson, the grandfather said, "Welcome, grandson. I see that you're in the mobs. Did something bad happen?" Wiping his hand and face on the towel, Ahmet said, "It's not a big deal, Grandpa. I'm just a little bit sad." The grandfather, who loved his son very much and believed that his grandson loved him as much as he did, insisted a little more, and Ahmet told everything to him. As the grandfather was old and experienced, and as he had read a lot of books and gained knowledge, he knew that he could solve this problem without damage and began to talk. "Ahmet, did you love Osman until this happened?" "Yes, Grandpa, I loved him very much." "Do you love him now?" "Even though I'm a little offended, I still love him." "Would you like it if Osman had done to you what you did?" "Of course I wouldn't." Looking out the window, the grandfather pointed the rose bush in the garden with his finger and said, "Look at the rose bush outside, the roses and the thorns around them. One who loves roses should endure the thorns. If you don't want something done to you, you shouldn't do it to others. Otherwise, you will be like a smelly rose, and no one will want to smell you, because they will see you as if you're a bush with thorns." After thinking for a while, Ahmet looked at his grandfather with excitement, and he said, "Grandpa, I don't want to be a bush with the thorns. I'm going to go to my friends right now and I will apologize." Ahmet went out without listening to what his grandfather was saying. He started running and reached the rose bush. He plucked 6 roses from it. Ahmet, who came to his friends, was out of breath, but he didn't care about it. He came to Osman and handed him one of the roses in his hand and said, "Osman, I apologize for what I did. It wasn't nice." His other friends were also gathered. They were listening to their conversation. After giving the roses to his friends, Ahmed said, "I do apologize to all of you. I hope you don't see me as if I'm a bush with thorns." Osman thought it would be appropriate to speak and began to talk. "You're not our bush with thorns. You're our thorny rosebush. We will laugh and cry with you, but we will be never offended by you." After saying these, they hugged and then continued their game from where they left off.